You watch the cameras follow the motorcades. You watch flags snap above a glass complex built for the 21st century. But you have no idea what is buried beneath the tires of those cars. 4,000 years of it. The city is Ankara. Today it hosts one of the most talked about NATO summits in years. But strip away the podiums and you are standing on one of the oldest continuously inhabited places on Earth. Bronze Age traders walked here. Roman senators built monuments here. An empire you have probably never heard of ruled this exact hill for nearly 3 centuries. So how did a city this old end up hosting the modern world's most powerful military alliance? Start at the beginning. Archaeologist Stephen Mitchell, a leading historian of ancient Anatolia, has argued this stretch of central Turkey was always a natural crossroads, where trade routes and armies converged for thousands of years. The location was never an accident. The same geography that mattered to Bronze Age traders matters to a military alliance today. Only the flags have changed. Centuries later, Celtic warriors called the Galatians migrated from Central Europe and settled this exact hill. Picture that. Tribes who once roamed near the Rhine ended up ruling a hilltop 1,000 miles from home. Then Rome arrived, and Ankara became capital of the province of Galatia. When Emperor Augustus died, his official autobiography was carved into temple walls across the empire. Almost every copy has vanished. One nearly complete copy survives, carved into a temple still standing in modern Ankara. Architectural historian Suna Guven has called it one of the most significant surviving structures from the Augustan era anywhere in the world, not in Rome. In Ankara, a short drive from where leaders are shaking hands this week. Does that not completely reframe what you are watching on your screen? After Rome came Byzantium, and the city became a fortified frontier post. Archaeologist David French, whose fieldwork mapped Anatolia's Roman roads, showed how those same roads kept moving armies for centuries, long after the empire that built them had changed its name and religion. Nothing was wasted. Everything was reused. Then came the Seljuks, and later the Ottomans, layering mosques and citadels onto stone streets, climbing toward a fortress that still overlooks the city today. Ankara stayed a respected regional center, but not yet the political heart of the nation. That changed in the 20th century. After the Ottoman Empire collapsed, the founder of modern Turkey chose Ankara, not Istanbul, as the new capital. Why? Istanbul sat exposed on the coast. Ankara sat protected deep inland, defensible, central, connected by rail. The same defensive logic that mattered to Bronze Age settlers mattered again in 1923. Geography does not expire. It just gets rediscovered. So when you watch this summit unfold, you are not watching a random government building. You are watching the newest chapter of a location chosen, again and again, by entirely different civilizations, for nearly identical reasons. Here is what should genuinely surprise you. Most of ancient Ankara is still physically present. The Temple of Augustus still stands, its inscription still readable. The old citadel still crowns the highest point in the city. Roman columns and road fragments still surface during construction, sometimes pausing entire projects while archaeologists document what lies beneath. Which means some of the roadwork done to prepare this city for summit traffic may have passed within meters of ruins older than Turkey itself, older than Rome's transition to empire. Isn't it strange that the smoothed-over street a motorcade glides down today might sit above stones laid by people who never heard of a nation-state, let alone a military alliance spanning 2 continents? That is the real story hiding behind this week's headlines. Not politics, geography, quietly deciding which spots on the map matter most, century after century, regardless of who is currently in charge. Empires rise on this ground and eventually fall. Borders get redrawn, alliances form and dissolve. But the hill stays exactly where it has always been, patiently waiting for the next group of powerful people to realize why everyone before them chose to stand right here. You watched the cameras follow the motorcades, and you thought you were watching something entirely new. You were not. You are watching one of the oldest patterns in human history repeat itself, on a hill that has never once stopped being important.